Good morning,
Good
everyone.
morning.
Welcome to the drive-through line at Starbucks. We are currently getting our coffee for the morning, and we'd love to talk about some of the things that we're loving and not so loving about our tiny house.
Yeah, so the first one is for right now where we are in life, the location is not the best. It takes us about 20 to 25 minutes to get to the closest Starbucks where we are right now, and it takes you what to drive every day?
It takes me about an hour one way.
Yeah, so it's just not the perfect location for where we are right now, but we're definitely making it work. But that's just one thing. There's plenty of things that we're loving, so we will bring you guys along for the day and share some of those with you.
We found we've been missing, you and I. It feels like we're finally living. We are wide awake, it's all so clear. The dreams we held are standing here. We found what we've been missing.
One of our top favorite things ever about living here at this tiny house is our friends that live around. So we have some of our best friends living in the buildings on the same exact property as us. So we get to be with them all the time. We call it our family compound, and it truly is that. They are like family to us. It's like having our brother and sisters right next door. We get to go for walks with them, have family dinners. It is so fun, and we are so grateful for it.
Definitely good for our mental health.
Yes, very good for our mental health.
One thing that we hear all the time when we tell people how tiny our tiny house is, oh, it must just take you guys a couple minutes to clean. And yes, that is true to some extent, but it feels like it gets so cluttered in here so fast. Like if one thing's out of place, you really can feel it. Like if there's shoes just all over the floor, it takes up that floor space. And since we have such little floor space, you really can feel that.
I feel like you're calling me out.
Well,
As a disclaimer though, there is so much we would change as for the storage in this home, but this home was not built for us. We are renting it. It was built for a single person living here short term. There's a barn on the property, so it's kind of just for someone here to take care of the animals, and we kind of took it on as our own. So it is not anyone's fault that we don't have storage, but our only source of storage besides baskets is this rolling staircase closet situation, which has Cody's gear, all of our shoes, and all of our clothes that need to be hung up. So it can get a little crazy sometimes, in the bottom especially. So sometimes my shoes just end up on the floor. Also, if you guys have any suggestions on where I could put a full-length mirror in here, that would be a game changer.
and I hear about that all the time. The next thing that we love about this tiny house, especially me, is that I have an office space. This is a tiny house, but I have my own little section, my own little workspace. I spend like 8 to 10 hours a day editing a video, so a lot of people ask like, oh, isn't it crazy to like live and work in such a tiny space? For me, if I have this monitor in front of me, it doesn't really matter where I am because I'm just staring here. So to be able to have everything I need and be able to work here, I absolutely love it.
Like Cody said, it is really easy to get it a little disorganized in here, but it's also pretty quick to get it back to its original state, back to being clean. So we're gonna do that real quick. We'll take you along with us, and then we're thinking about taking a little walk. So be right back. Cleaning time, baby. One thing that I'm thinking about as I'm cleaning is I am just so appreciative of learning about this minimalistic lifestyle. I feel like we came into the tiny house knowing that we wanted to downsize a lot, but we still wanted to have enough stuff to live our lives and feel comfortable. Like I said in one of our previous videos, I work in the fashion industry, so having clothes is still super important to me, but I'm just learning how to dwindle my closet down and still have all those necessary items or things that just make me feel confident and pretty in my closet without having a million things. But right now it's just so great knowing what we need and knowing how to get rid of things when they don't serve us anymore.
Open wide, the future's on our side. We'll touch the stars. We'll follow.
Another thing that we absolutely love about living here is that there are actually walking trails on the property.
We love just being able to be right next door to nature and just be able to take cliff-on walks and get our exercise. It's just so nice.
It's something that we really missed when we were living in downtown Portland, and it feels so good to have it back, especially now that the weather's starting to be nice.
Exactly.
Next thing that we do not love about this tiny house is we don't feel like we have a good space to chill. Like, this is a tiny couch, obviously has to be to fit in here, but a lot of the time when we're done eating dinner, we end up just going up to bed and watching TV on the iPad and the laptop. This couch is just a little small for the three of us.
Yeah, it's not very comfortable to have all three of us or even just the two of us on it.
Yeah.
And we're definitely the type of people after work who just like want to be together. And the only other seating down here is at the dining room table or Cody's office chair, which no one wants to be sitting at, like an office chair after work. So
Yeah, this is definitely one of the things I think if we were gonna build a tiny house that we would probably try to change.
yeah, probably have like a bigger living area or at least like a couch that could fold out into a futon,
Yeah.
something like that. So Cody and I decided that we're gonna go on a little date night tonight. I'm just going to freshen up a little bit, and while I do that, I thought I would tell you about one last thing that isn't necessarily our favorite about the tiny house. I love this bathroom, but the lack of counter space when I'm getting ready is definitely really tricky. I find that I put my makeup bag in the sink, which is kind of weird, but it's really not a big deal, just a little bit of a nuance, but you know, it's a tiny house, it happens. But Cody is out here enjoying some sunlight before we head out.
Yeah, I absolutely love this time of day, especially in this tiny house. These bay windows right here let in so much sunlight, and I usually don't even have lights on in the afternoon. I don't need them because the sun just lights this place up, and oh, that makes me feel so good. In our first apartment that we had in downtown Portland, we had one little tiny window and we had no direct sunlight coming in because another building was blocking it. So I'm incredibly grateful to have these bay windows and all the windows in this tiny house. And Cliff certainly takes advantage as well and loves laying in this window, watching traffic go by, watches the chickens. But yeah, these are absolutely some of our favorite features of this tiny house. We are all dressed up and ready to go to dinner. We have about 2 minutes before we have to leave, or we're going to be late for our reservation, but we really appreciate you guys watching this video.
I think at the end of the day, the pros definitely outweigh the
Totally.
cons for tiny living, and we just can't wait to see what our future holds with tiny living. I know we have the van coming up,
Yeah.
but I would love to see us either building our own tiny house or something like that in the future. So we can't wait for you guys
Yeah.
to join along with all of our adventures, and we so appreciate having you, and we just love you guys.
Yeah, thank you so much for all the support. We're so excited about this community that we're building, and we hope to see you guys in the next one.
Well, cheers, guys.
Bye.